Hello, my friends. So today I thought it would be fun to just share a cozy, witchy autumn day in my life. This is usually how I start out my mornings with much intention and these little rituals. I have very many altars all over my house, including this is our downstairs table. And I usually just start the day with some runes. These are witchy runes. I'm very much into divination, and I have many tarot and oracle decks, but to start the day I just light some candles and pull some runes and see what I get for the day. While I take you through my morning, I thought I would talk about how I came to call myself a witch. I previously touched on this in some other videos I made. I did a day in the life of a hippie witch, so I kind of talked about it there, but also my spiritual path in my priestess path video. I went and visited the goddess temple in Nevada, so I talked about that there, and this kind of all ties in. I pretty much haven't really called myself a witch until about 5 to 10 years ago. But before that, I guess I was kind of always witchy. I grew up in New England for the most part. And I always thought like most of the houses I lived in were haunted. So I would always talk to like the spirits in my houses. We always had these forests and woods that we would go and play in, my siblings and I was always, typical, just going out and grabbing some sticks and like rocks and making potions and, just the typical life of an imaginative kid, playing in the forest. But I was always really into nature. I grew up being into nature. And as I got older, this is me doing a morning diffuser spell. I just realized that the words are backwards. It's an abundance spell, putting oils in the diffuser, and I have a little wand. But anyway, going back to growing up, I was always fascinated with witchy culture. I grew up fascinated by witch history. I lived mostly in Maine. Well, I lived in New England, but mostly Maine. And we lived near a town that is famous for this witch, the cursed tombstone of Jonathan Buck, in which he apparently had ordered a witch to burn. And now there is a witch foot stocking. And I guess they even tried to, get rid of the gravestone and rebuild it. And this stocking just keeps magically reappearing. And this tale, this legacy has always kind of fascinated me. I just grew up around this kind of stuff. I lived close to Salem. I was also always fascinated by the city of Salem, and even though it's sad what happened there, right now they're kind of having a resurgence where witches are taking over the city and reclaiming, and I find that very powerful. I started calling myself a witch because I've always kind of had these witchy practices. I've always been really into like tarot and oracle and crystals, and just growing up in the 90s, I always just considered I was a little bit new agey because that was more the term I used. But as I got older, I realized that I felt more empowering, especially as a woman, to call myself a witch. And I've always loved these little witchy practices. I have little rituals that I do throughout the day. I cast spells. I live my life as a witch. I live my life as it is one big ritual, whether I'm, working in the garden, even at work, I teach dance. I'm a healer. I do massage and crystal healing. I love to make teas and herbal blends, and I'm an aromatherapist, so I love to play with essential oils and make potions. I actually make and sell some aromatherapy blends on my shop, but here's my little garden. I have my little fairy garden, which, I love fairies, but going back to calling myself a witch, So about the time of the pandemic, I had joined an online group of women, the Goddess Life Sisterhood, that was founded by my belly dance teacher. And I was already calling myself a witch by this time, but I feel like just having the empowerment of these other women and, finding like-minded souls who weren't afraid to stand up and claim themselves as powerful women. It was really helpful. There's my kitty. He's looking for a lizard that got under the trash can. So Mickey's a little annoyed that he can't get to it. But anyway, later in the day, I did go to the beach. I love to dance every day. I thought it would be fun to dance at the beach, get all dressed up. One of the biggest reasons I fell in love with belly dance, the costumes. And then we just went and looked at the tide pools. I try to get outside in nature almost every day if I can, even if it's just a hike or walk on the beach. My little apothecary here. Like I said, I'm very much into herbs and oils. I do homeschool my kids, or at least my younger teen now. My older one graduated a couple years ago. But anyway, so we did some homeschooling in the afternoon. But then I had recently bought I found they have a Wicked version of Monopoly. So we took some time out to play that this afternoon, and it was actually really fun. I love Wicked. I read the book years ago and just watched the movie and excited to see the second part. But the game itself is pretty much just like regular Monopoly, but of course very cool, witchy Wicked themed. So we had fun playing that. And then, like I said earlier, I do make some aromatherapy blends to sell on my website. These are my tarot aromatherapy blends, and I was going to be making more and try to talk to you while I, as I was making them, but I found that was too difficult to talk and blend. So I just thought I'd show you some of the after product. Hello again. So I actually wanted to have a little face-to-face chat, so I thought that it would be better to just do that while I'm getting ready. I had mentioned the sisterhood that I'm a part of, the online group of lovely women, my coven, and we are starting Witch Fest this week. So tonight we're doing a Lilith goddess belly dance meditation and activation. And I like to dress up. I had just cut my own hair recently. So now I put some layers in. I don't think I did the best job, but it always looks cuter when I style it. So I'm just gonna chat while I curl. So anyway, going back to the sisterhood, or I should explain that about my coven. I do have a coven, or I am part of a coven. It's an all-online coven. I have met many of these women in person, but we're all across the world, so it's just easier to meet online. And every October since it's been going since the pandemic, so about 6 years now, 5 or 6 years. And we've been doing the Witch Fest every October, so we always have these little you know, these little rituals. We do a Samhain ritual on, we're going to have ours on Friday, so I'm very excited about that. But leading up to that, we do these witchy burlesque. We have Coven Happy Hour. I think one of the first times we had Witch Fest, we actually did our Coven initiation. And even though I already considered myself a witch, and these women were like my coven anyway, it was nice because we had an actual initiation ceremony, and that was like the first time it like felt really special, like we're actually becoming, you know, a coven together. So anyway, that is my story about the my coven and becoming a witch. And I would tell you more about our Samhain ritual, but we haven't got there yet. And sorry, I get so distracted when I'm trying to do more than one thing at once. But anyway, yeah, so my story of, I do consider myself mostly a solo practitioner because at home I, you know, practice solo. I do get comfort from watching a lot of other witchy vlogs and YouTubers because I know that there are plenty of us out there, and it just makes me happy to see that we are growing and kind of taking back our power. And like I said before, it's all about reclaiming the word witch and standing strong for all the people that were wrongly accused or, you know, just burned for having different beliefs than the status quo. So I should say burned or hung, but anyway, so I'm just gonna finish styling and then probably put on a little something that's more comfortable to dance in, and I will check in then. Okay, my friends, so that's it for the video today. My witch online witch fest is about to start. So if you made it through this whole video, thanks for sticking around, and I will see you next time.